Another important job to do today was to clear this patch, because it's the only remaining large piece of soil that we've got on the plot. So I've been digging it over and getting all the weeds out, and of course that means we've got a huge pile of weeds. What I do is, if you can see, I set them up on a wire frame so that off the ground that stops any creatures like hedgehogs or frogs and toads making a home inside the weed pile, because ultimately we'll be burning this. So I leave it off the ground. That also aids in the drying of the weeds because it gets good airflow around them, and of course it also acts as a bit of a barrier because I'm working this side, and on the other side we've got the bonfire. So as the weeds dry off, I'll put them onto the bonfire, and as you can see, burning away nicely. So eventually I'm going to have all this patch cleared. There's another part there which I haven't even gone near yet. It's sensible just to mark off an area like I have done with the blue rope, just so that you don't overstretch yourself. And I've moved some of the pallets, so I've cleared a bit more space there. So eventually all this patch will be cleared, and we might get some potatoes in there next year, seeing as it's been left fallow most of this year. Although we will be putting some overwintering onions in this patch, I think, which I've got at home in cells, just giving them a start, getting a root system into them. So it's been a busy day on the plot today. We've cleared all the Mange 2 peas off this frame, and we planted some overwintering peas in the ground. So we'll see what comes up there in the next few weeks and months. We've cleared a bit of space on this raised bed, and we put in some garlic, which is always a good one to put in over winter because it's slow growing, doesn't mind the cold. And we put these CDs, hanging CDs, to try and stop the birds pecking them out. The greenhouse is still doing rather well. We've got tomatoes still ripening, and the long red peppers starting to turn now. We've had one already that's completely turned, the rest are going now. Still loads of green ones to come. In this bed here we've planted a few more cabbages and some kale. Always use up space as it becomes available. We've still got some kale and some spinach in this bed here under the netting. The peas that we put in quite a while ago are now podding up nicely. I think if we just have a look there, you might just be able to see a few pods. Haven't got peas in them yet, but early days. It is a late variety, so we are expecting to get some eventually. It's just passing the fruit cage where the chickens have been enjoying themselves all day. As I said before, we had one laying an egg, and there's Flo having a little snooze. Well, here we are in the fruit cage with the chickens, and there's been lots of commotion, and I think I know why. There's Frida making herself a little dust bowl. And let's have a look and see what we can find over here. Hello, Matilda. Let's go and see what you've done over here. I do have a feeling, yes, she's laid an egg. There's a good girl, Matilda. You can often tell that they're going to lay an egg because they make a really distinctive sound. So that's one egg today. And let's go back to Frida dust bathing. It's quite a fascinating sight seeing a chicken dust bathing. Back to the potato patch where I've completely weeded, well, as best I can anyway, weeded the late potatoes, and I've earthed them up again because we don't want any spuds that are near the surface being affected by any light that might turn them green, in which case you can't eat them. The sweet corn's all but finished now. It's a bit late in the year because you need longer hours of sunshine for the corn to ripen, so I think we'll be pulling those out quite soon. All the other potatoes have been weeded and I'll be digging those up quite soon. There's the Valor, we've already harvested some of those, but the remainder I will dig up soon. You have to leave that for storage, you have to leave them on the surface of the soil on a nice dry sunny day like today, so I'm just hoping for still a spell of fine weather to be able to do that. Leaving them on the surface of the soil for a day hardens the skins so they store for longer. In a patch that I've dug up shallots and anniers, we've planted some more brassicas under this netting frame, so we've got some kale in there, and there's also a row of spinach up the centre. We grow this just as much for the chickens as for ourselves, so it's multi-purpose. The squashes, still doing okay there, the patty pan squashes. Again, it's getting a bit late in the year now, so we will definitely be harvesting all those probably next weekend. So all in all, it's been a successful day, and bonfire's still going well. Pile of weeds still to burn. So that's the allotment walkabout for September. Thank you for watching.